Good morning and welcome, my COS 1511 Group 7E students, and welcome to our Zoom class. Anybody gets the joke, class? Anyone objects to it? Sasha,
So I don't get it.
you got the joke. You got the joke. Okay, how about this one, Sasha? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Array.
Array who?
Array of structs. Thank you. Tinswala, you got that joke.
I got it, sir.
Yay, I'm going to put it on our WhatsApp group. Okay, so for today's Zoom session, I'm logging in from Durban, and I heard that, Sasha, you are also my neighbor. Are you close by to me, Sasha?
Yes, I am, sir.
Oh, whereabout are you logging in from, Sasha?
So have you ever heard of the Mams and Tosi?
Yes. That's like a stone throw away from me. That's in Durban. Yay, we got the same code, 031. And Tinswalo, I heard you are from another province altogether. Where are you from, Tinswalo?
Pretoria, sir.
Oh my goodness, that's very far away from me. Okay, doesn't matter. We're going around the country. Anybody else would like to unmute and quickly introduce themselves? Anyone? No. Oh, okay, I think you're shy. But please do ask me questions and talk to me during the lesson, because my wife will think that I'm talking to the computer again, all right? And I'm not talking to the computer, and there are people over here, and I'm not losing it. Okay, so for today's lesson, we're going to be talking about array of structs. Now you'll look at the wording, it says array, and it has the word structs. So in order to get to array of structs, like my joke, we need to know what's an array, and we need to revise what's a struct. So what I have, and I've got code blocks loaded, and I've got there we go. I've got some programs out here. And one of the reasons I'm talking about this thing about a struct and an array is because our assignment, or the last assignment, quick question, Tinswalo, unmute. Have you started with assignment 4, Tinswalo?
Oh, not yet, sir, but I'm getting what it requires, and your lessons are really helping a lot, I must say.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So you have to start this assignment ASAP, because it's a pretty long assignment. All right. I don't want to share the solution with you, because this is a recording and you will stop the screen and you'll take a picture of my solution. But I can tell you it goes into hundreds of lines, actually 1, 2. So you need to start this assignment ASAP. And one of the reasons I'm talking about structs is I think that a struct would be pretty cool to use in the assignment. Lebohang, would you like to unmute and talk to me and tell me whether you've started assignment 4 and whether you think a struct would be a good idea to work with? Lebohang? Lebohang, are you there? Lebohang. Oh, Lebohang is shy. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's see, Sanele, talk to me. Tell me, have you started assignment 4? Okay, doesn't matter. Let me start, right? Let me go ahead. So let's revise what an array is, and let's revise what a struct is, because we're going to put those two together. And then I'll just take you very briefly to a class, right? We'll talk about a class just now. So talk to me, Tinswalo. Are you able to see my screen? I'm sharing my code block screen. Sibongile, welcome. Are you able to see my screen, Sibongile?
Sorry, sir, Tinswalo here. Yes, I'm able to see your screen.
Great. Tinswalo, great. So if you look at the program that I have on screen, it's from sub-activity 25, and this is lesson 25. So here we have defined an array, and the array that we've defined is called array P. Again, I want to get to array of structs. I cannot get to array of structs without understanding what an array is, without understanding what a struct is, and then I'm going to put the both together. So here I have the main program. It's a very simple program. All I'm doing is I have an input array and I have an output array. And if you notice, I have declared size to be a constant value. Now that's the definition of an array. An array is a data structure that has homogeneous elements. Homogeneous means all of the elements are the same. And why I'm telling you this is, you got to keep this in the back of your mind, because when I talk about a struct, you'll see how different it is in terms of the array. Here's the size equals 10, meaning that I have a definite number of elements in the array. And I'm saying input array, and it runs in a loop. Now if you don't understand a loop, how a loop works, you're not going to be able to understand how to enter values into an array. Because like I said, an array has a set amount of values. It has a very important starting point and a very important ending point. So in order to run through the loop, the elements of the array, we need a loop. And that's where I'm calling up a loop out here. By the way, in programming, programmers tend to count from 0. So we're counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's why you see the loop out here. Quick revision of a loop. A loop has a definite starting point and a definite ending point, the for loop. The while loop, again, I'm talking about the assignment. You need to validate data in the while loop for assignment 4, the flight booking example. You cannot use a for loop. You need to use a while loop or a do while loop, because that's based on a condition. As soon as the user enters in a valid data entry, you want them to come out of the loop. But if you had a for loop, swallow, if you had a for loop, you have to run a set number of times for that loop has to run. So in this instance, it runs 10 times. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Swallow, you get that, Swallow?
I got it, sir.
I gave you a hint over there, so you'll need to use a do while loop or a while do loop for validating your data entry with the flight booking example. Sasha, what do you think of that tip, Sasha?
Hello, sir.
Hello, Sasha. What do you think about that tip? I gave you a tip for the flight booking example.
Yeah, I've got it down, yes, sir. I must use a while loop.
Yeah, right. So you'll need to have a while loop to validate your data entry. We'll talk about that next week or the following week. We'll see how it goes. So in this array, I need to have values entered from 0 to 1 less than the array, right? And let's run this program very quickly. I'm going to run this program, compile it. Yay, I'm happy. I'm going to build and run. I don't want that. I'm going to build and run. Oops, it's opening up. Let me go and do it again. Run, build and run. If this happens, what I tend to do is I close all my other programs. Let's see, which one is that on? Let's close the flight booking example. Is that the one? Close the project. Close the project. And close the project. When I was prepping, I had all of these things open. So let me go and Samuel's not here today. And Cargill's not here today. Let's go to array. Array 1, let's see if that'll help. Build and run. Yay, oh no, that's shirt. No, I don't need shirt. Why is it opening up? Let's go and close Putty, close that project. Close that project. And close that. Let's see now if it works. No. Close the project. Right, enter in 10 values. There we go, it's running the array. You'll notice it's running, it says 10 values. It's going to give you a definite number of entries that it wants in there. Now that's by definition of an array. So I'm just going to enter in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm going to enter in 10. And all it will do is it will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and place it into the array starting from position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's simply going to display this. So keep this program in mind in terms of template. Now that's what I'm talking about teaching programming. Trust me, I know about this. I've been in programming for a very long time. Just to tell you how old I am, 1986. Tinswallow, what do you think of that? Am I old or am I old?
Yeah, very old, sir.
No, you're supposed to say, sir, but you got a young, you're not so old, you're young. Okay, 1986. I'm not sure if you're about my age or so, but you don't sound that old. And when you're learning programming, you got to keep a template in mind. So there's my template. There's my template for my array. So what I told you about an array needs a loop. And an array, you'll store the elements running from the first position to the last position. And generally we start with position 0. So that's your template that you will keep in mind. Now, let me go and talk about this thing called a struct. So in this case, I'm talking about a very simple struct, which is on page 349. And I want you to compare what a struct looks like and what an array looks like. So when I'm defining my struct, in my, let me take another example of the struct. Let's open up another project that I have. Let's see if I've got, let's see what Trevor's looks like. I should have labeled them a little bit better, right? No, I don't need that one. Let's go and open up. No, let's open up Walia, but let's see, this is a struct. No, that's an assignment question, actually. Let me open up. No, not Poochie. Let me open up. Oh, that's my dog. My dog likes to stay with me when I'm teaching. And no, let me just open my door for my dog. Sorry about that. Okay, can you see we are in real time? Now I'm going to look for a struct. I'm looking for an example of the struct. Okay, let's take Kajal's example. We did this lesson some time ago. Here's my struct. My struct starts with the reserved word struct, and I'm talking about student. You'll notice I've got two fields inside my struct. I've got name and student number, and they are defined to be strings, right? And I also have an array within my struct. So let's look at this. It says int marks num marks. So I'm actually combining the fields of a string and the field of having marks as an array. Tinswallow, what do you think about that, Tinswallow? Compare what happens in an array and compare what happens in a struct.
Yes, I see. With an array, it has to be the same format of data, and with a struct, you can have different forms.
Different fields. Let's use the word fields, right? These are called fields, right? And a struct is like a record, Tinswallow, all right? And
yes,
there's another difference. Let's look at the array out here. In the array, I called the array by its name and a subscript, array subscript I, and I got that from the for loop running from lines 10 and 11. Let's look at what happens to swallow with the struct. If I need to call and enter values into the struct, I will use the struct name, full stop, whatever the field name is. So in my case, my struct was declared out here to be, let's look at it. It's calling it, let's see. There we go. Student P dot student number. Student P, it comes from the structure of a student, and I declared it right at the bottom, somewhere here under the main program. Where's my main program and int student P? Here's my main program. There's my students, and I'm calling it students. I'm entering in the values, and I'm entering it in, and I'm storing each structure, each record that will have the student name, the student number, and 4 marks. So if I have to Swallow as a student, she will, as a record, it'll have a name and student number and 4 marks associated with that. If I'm going to have Sasha, I'm going to have Sasha's name, Sasha's student number, and I'm going to have 4 marks associated with Sasha. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to consider putting this 2 together. And I have another program that I'd like to share with you. Let's see if I can find that program. I've done that program earlier on, and I want to share it as a template with you. Right? I put all of this, I actually posted this in our WhatsApp group. Let me find that. I have to change my labeling so that I'll be able to find it easier. All right, let me see if I can find that program. Alternatively, I'll have to use an example from the guide. Just give me a second. I had the program out here, recent files. No, recent projects. Array 1. Let's open up all of them. Recent projects. Samuel 2. Okay. Oh, let me explain to you Samuel 2. This is a simple struct. Here's another example in Swallow of a struct. In this struct, which is of shirt, by the way, in honor of structs, I'm using my red shirt again. I know every Saturday you see me with a red shirt, but here it is. This is a record of shirt. In this example of struct and Swallow, if you want to look at it again, I've got 4 fields. 4 fields, and all the fields are, one is an integer, one is a character, one is a string, and one is a float. None of them are declared to be arrays. But if I look at the previous example, the one with the Kajal array string, Kajal, you're not here, but when you're listening to the recording, you'll be able to hear me. The entry for the marks, because all the marks are the same, all the marks will be integers, Tinswallow, Sasha, Sibongile, right? All of them will be, let's say, Tebe, Jen, all of them are the same. Therefore, I can use an array. So part of learning programming is you got to know a little bit of theory in terms of what is the data structure, how do I declare the data structure, and what is it used for. Now, the whole purpose of me doing this Zoom session is so that you can have an understanding of the data structures that we require for the assignment. And that's very important because the assignment, you doing well in the assignment will ensure that you have a good course mark, and that course mark will be added to your final mark. All right, so make sure that you do that. By the way, Sasha, you had asked me a question about the exam format. I haven't forgotten about that. In the next 5 minutes or so, we'll talk about that.
So I've
now,
also got another question though.
Yes, Sasha.
Can you just like run the program though? So like I want to see how it kind of like the format or how it looks on the outputs. Yes,
I would. I'd love to if I could get it to work. And I'm doing a recording out here and it's giving me a bit of a hassle. Let's see, this was enter the size of the shirt. Okay, so it's running. Let's go and run, not Samuel 2. I want to run Okay, let's run Samuel 2 for now, right? Let's see if it'll run Samuel 2, which is the shirt example. So this is with structs, right? Let's go and see. Right, yeah, there we go. If I look at, it says enter the size of the shirt, Sasha. That's running line 13.
So I can't see anything. It only shows me your code.
Oh, okay. Let me do a new share. Let me do a new share. Stop share. Share my screen. Sasha, now are you able to see both my code and the output?
Yes.
Great. So thank you for that. Sometimes when I run Zoom for it does this. So enter the size of the shirt. I'm a size 32. Enter. Enter the style of the shirt. It's style A. Enter the color of the shirt. My color, Sasha, is red, right? Enter the price of the shirt. Sasha, this is a very expensive shirt, Sasha, 50 bucks. And it displays it. So Sasha, when I am retrieving elements from my struct, I got to retrieve it with its struct name and the field name. So here's my struct name and the field name. If I look at the way I displayed it, shirt p dot style, shirt p dot size, shirt p dot color, shirt p dot price. Sasha, do you see the program running?
I get it, sir, but like it looks like you could do the exact same thing without using an array.
This is a struct. This is a struct.
Oh, a struct.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, yeah.
Struct.
Understood.
This
Okay.
is a struct. I'm displaying the elements of a struct. Okay.
Okay, I understand.
Let's go and let me find another program that I want to show you. Now I want to let's run that program. Yes, you're right. I need to first ensure that I get out of that. Let's go to, don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Right, let's look at this example. This is an example where I have a struct and I have array within the struct. So let me see if I can compile that. And let's run this and see what happens. Nope. I don't want that there. Let me go and close that. I'm going to close that. I like to work with one file at a time. I don't like a untidy looking. Let's compile that. Nope, I don't want that. Close that. I'm just going to close that. Just going to close that. I'm going to close that. And now we're not going to run this array anymore, right? So close that. So here's the example, the file name Cargill is the only one right here. And let's just run this program. So Sasha, just tell me, are you able to see both the code and my screen, the output screen?
Yes, sir.
Great. So here it goes. It says enter the student number. And this is for student 0. I actually should have put down, I+1, C+1, or C or whatever my loop is so that I show student 1. So my student number is 202211. Enter the name, and my name is Sasha, S-A-S-H-A, Sasha, and assignment, which actually should be assignment 1. Assignment 1, Sasha did very well, 80. Assignment 2, which is actually labeled as assignment 1. We're going to change that, Sasha. You also did very well. Assignment 3, you did very well as well. Assignment 4, which you haven't done as yet. So I'm just going to put down 0. Okay?
It's
coming through. You'll notice, Sasha, in this example, I received input from the user. Your name is a string, which is made up of characters. Your student number was also a string, which is made up of characters. But your assignment marks, the 4 assignment marks that you have, are all integer values. And that's how I represented it as an array or an array within a struct. That's the whole point of today's exercise. In today's exercise, in today's lesson, all I want to show you is I am combining this thing about an array and I'm putting it in as a field of a struct. And this is the rationale, the reason as to why I am doing it.
So maybe you scroll down.
Yes, yes. Would you like me to
So I
scroll
can
down?
see how it looks for the arrays, the program.
Okay, okay. Well, it does the average as well, and I don't want to show you all of that right now. I'm just showing you well, once I press enter, it's going to do the rest of it, right? I'm going to enter in more values, which is student number 2022 and since Wallow and assignment 90. She also did very well. And the last assignment, she hasn't done it as yet, right? So this is what the output would look like. Sasha, thank you for that question. And at least you steered the lesson in a particular direction. Sasha, you still there, Sasha?
I'm still, yes, sir.
Okay, great. So let's revise one more time. In your own words, Sasha, can you tell me what a struct is and what an array is and what's the differences between the two?
So I'm gonna be honest. I'm still trying to process everything. I haven't even learned arrays yet.
That's okay. That's okay. Talk to me in layman's terms.
So also what I understand from a struct is like a I see it as the like so I can't find the words. It's difficult to explain.
You can use English. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at line 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Describe it in your own words.
Where?
Line
6, 7. Oh, okay, there.
Right. So this is where I'm defining the struct. What is this word student?
It's the student, like it's the student's name.
Okay, it's the name of the struct, basically, right? That's the definition. Yeah. What is this line 8 and line 9?
Well, 8 is you declaring a variable, a string variable where you can type in the child's name or the student's name. And then 9, the int marks is where you put in the marks, and then the num marks, I'm guessing, is your array.
And how many marks are those?
4, because it's the constant is 4.
Yeah, great. And you told me you didn't know what you're talking about. Listen here, you know what you're talking about. You've told me that a struct has a name, and in this case, it's called student. And you told me that a struct has fields. You said name, student number, and there's the important difference. It has an array within it. And the array is 4 elements. All of them are integers. All of them will be marks. Hey, well done, Sasha.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Tinswallow, it's your turn now, Tinswallow. Talk to me, Tinswallow.
Yes, sir.
Right. I want you to tell me, what is this thing about an array? What is this? What do you understand by the word array?
Okay, an array for me, it's something that makes allowance for you to put different values. Like instead of working with just one value at a time, it allows you to work with more values at a time. So for an array, for example, if an array has 10, I don't know how to call it. If it's got 10 places, for example, in computer science language, it should start from 0. So we count from 0. If it has got 10 places, it will start from 0 and end at 9. So we need to have that in mind when we're setting up an array. And then also it allows you to work with more than one value at a time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That's nice. Back with
yes. Yes, you're on the right track. Now, before we did arrays, if I had to have an array of 10 elements, I would need to have 10 different variables. Variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, up to variable 10. Imagine if there were 100 elements. Oh my word, that's a lot to do, right? That's a lot to work with. So as Tinswallow correctly pointed out, the array enables me to store all of them. It's like a basket. I put all of them into the basket and I'm able to access the basket in one go, right? So that's what happens out here. Anybody else would like to add to that? Maybe I forgot something to tell you about the array of structs. I can see there's Shivambu, Ndlovo, Sada is there. Come on, talk to us. You're going to be famous. You're going to be recorded. You'll be on YouTube. Talk to me.
Okay, so this is Sibongile.
Sibongile, welcome.
I can only add that they store the same data type or the similar data type. You cannot store maybe an int and a bool at the same time. It has to be an integer or
okay.
A
That's
string.
for which one? The struct or the array? Which one are you talking about?
The array.
Yeah. It must be all the same. I like this word, homogeneous. I know you're all over here, you know. Homogeneous means all of them the same, right? Homogeneous. Yes, I like that, right? And while I got you your Sibongile, if you told me that the array elements, all of them must be the same, I'm just going to share my screen again. I'm not sure if you can see that. Tell me in your words, what's the difference with the array and the struct now?
Okay, is that the array you have to store the similar data types, and then with the structs you can store like different data types.
Yeah, in the field, right? We use the word fields, try and be like, you know, computer lingo, like a literate kind of thing. You know, you're talking the language, right? So there's the fields over here. This is a struct, think of it as a record, and you can have different fields in a struct. But let me tell you something else. All of the structs, whether it's like 2 students or 3 students or 4 students, I mean, this is an array of structs. All of them will have the same number of fields in there. So for struct 1, you're going to have name, student number, 4 marks. Struct 2, name, student number, 4 marks. Struct 3, name, student number, 4 marks. Struct 4, name, student number, 5 marks. 4 marks. Struct, what was I? Tell me when I'll get the picture. Sibongile, you get the picture unless you want me to go to 100.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
you get the picture. Oh, good. Sibongile, you came in a bit late, Sibongile. I want to ask you one joke, Sibongile. Knock.
Who's there?
Array.
Array who?
Array of structs. Thanks. I got a sense of humor. I have to admit, you know, I made Sibongile laugh. So thank you, Sibongile. Now, what you'll need to do is you need to go to your study guide and you need to get the exact definition of what they talk about a struct, right? So let's look at, I think it's lesson 25, right? It's somewhere down there, lesson number 25, structs, an array of structs. There we go. Oh, it's lesson 28. Lesson 28. That's where we jump to. So I'm going to jump all the way to lesson 28, and I'm going to take you through. Yeah, that's lesson 21. Let's go through to the important points in the lesson. What a struct is this 26? Let's talk about so that we ensure that I don't leave out anything from the guide. And let's see. This is a struct. All right, so here we go. Let's look at what they're telling me about a struct. Now, if you've done my lesson quizzes, you'll notice that I've taken questions straight from here. So if I look at the important points in this lesson, the general layout of the struct definition, it has a name. Hey, Sasha, remember? You told me that the struct's name was student. Sasha, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yay, there we go. Remember your struct's name was?
Students.
Yay! And you told me that there were 2 fields in there. Sibongile, you also told me that they have to have different types. So one was student name and student number. And very importantly, one of the new things that we introduced today was an array. within the struct. So any struct has, by definition, the following. I'm using the word layout because if I say structure, then you all will think I'm using the word struct in structure, right? And like Sibongile correctly pointed out, she said that in an array, all the elements are the same. But she said in a struct, each field can have a different type. Or if we wanted, we could have had all of them the same field names, right? Sorry, the same type. There we go. Every field contains the name of one or more fields separated by a comma. Okay, we forgot about that. But now you know you need a comma. And at the end of the struct definition, there's a semicolon. Right? I call it terminator. Let's see what else they tell me about. A struct definition does not allocate any memory. This has to be done with a declaration statement. For example, whatever your struct name is and the variable name type. So in my case, it could have been student and student P, or marks and mark P, right? If I want to access the struct field name, I got to give its record and I've got to give its field name within it. So it'll be the variable name dot field name, and variable name comes from the definition of a struct by means of its struct name. Oh, there's something else. I can assign all the values of one struct to another by saying struct2 is equal to struct1. So whatever was in struct1 is duplicated into struct2. There's the example of the shirt, the struct of shirt, the size, the style, and price. Oh, now they're talking about trousers. Okay, so you got to read this one. And you'll go through the exercise. Let's quickly go through to the important points in structs, arrays. Let's see what they are talking about. Here we go. In this lesson, we looked at the use of arrays of which the elements are structs. An array of structs is declared as follows. Struct name, and this would lead up to what we're going to get to, array name and the elements. Each element of the array name 0, array name 1, array name 2, array name 3, will ultimately be having the same layout, right? Let's look at this. Let's take the example from here now, right? So that you will have something to work with. And this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use the solution. It says, I'm doing it with you because don't think that it's magic that I can come up with all of these things. Control C. I'm opening up my code blocks. This is what you are going to do now. I'm opening up a brand new project. Let's close all of these things. Let's close all of that. I'm closing that now. So when you get to, I'm opening and creating a new project. Oopsie, creating a new project, click create, click console application. And because Tinswallow was the first person here, Tintswallow, I'm labeling it as Tinswallow. Right, she was the first. Oh, it's also already exists. Let's call it Tinswallow 2. Right, let's call it Tinswallow 2. So this is what you are going to do after this lesson. Let's go and delete all of that. Control V. Oh, I don't need 349. Let me see how fast I can type Sasha. You are going to copy all of this. Hey, there's another declaration over here. This is where I'm entering my data. Copy that. I'm opening up my code blocks. Control V. Yay! Sasha, don't you think I'm a fast typer, Sasha? Sasha!
Crazy fast, so you're extremely fast. I wish I could only be that fast.
Yeah, I'm extremely fast. I'm one of the fastest typists you know. But it'll be a good idea if you can type it, right? I'm just doing that because, you know, it's already 20 to 1, and I told you that it's a 1-hour lesson or 45-minute lesson. Plus, I've got some household chores to do. I forgot to let you know. So I can't take like 2 hours typing, right? So let me go on typing this. I'm copying this out. And there's the main program, the main man. There's the main man out here. Yes, let's take the main man, copying it out. I'm copying this thing and open up my code blocks. Oh, this is going to be a pretty long program. Imagine if I had to type all of this, Sasha. I'll keep you all waiting over here, and then you're going to miss lunch.
No, run away from your chores.
I beg your pardon, Sasha?
Your choice will get less if you type it out.
What will get less?
Your choice.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's an idea. Now you tell me. Okay, next week I'll do that. I'll type, right, for 2 hours. Then I'll have less choice. You're right. Shh. Oh, you can't hear me. You must be married if I'm right. Okay. Right. Jokes aside now. Let's see if I typed everything incorrectly. So this is from the lesson 20, or let me put my view back on, view my logs. All right, so it looks okay. Let's see if I can run it. So this is what I'm doing now. Remember the lesson was array of structs, right? So I have structs and I put them into an array, and all of them, when I say all of them, all the elements will have the same structure, or instead of another word structure, same layout. Okay, so this is from lesson 29, right? Lesson 29. And they talk to me about the following functions should be typed into a program with the struct definition. Yeah. I typed it out. Right. So let's see if I typed it out correctly. Let me do a build and let's build it. And nothing is all up to date. Let's run this program. And again, I'm going to look at it. Since swallow 2, it says enter the student number. Let me see how many elements of this array there are. Otherwise, I have to run. I'll be running it. Let me go and check how many elements here. Ooh, number of students is 10. Oh my goodness, I'll be entering in 10 values. Let me go and change that to 2, okay? I'll put that to 2. Let's do a build and run. Enter student number. So Sasha student number is 1111. SASHA. Enter the mark for assignment. It's 90, 90, 89, 87. Enter student number 2222, and that is Swallow. Assignment 88, 89, 88. Ooh, 88. That's a problem. I've entered it incorrectly. That's where the validation comes into play, right? Ooh, this is incorrect. The class average is 1,201. No, that's not right. But the important thing I want to get at is I've entered in 2 records. I've entered in a record for Sasha, and I've entered in a record for Swallow. If I go and change the number of elements of the array to be 4, let me do that now. Let me do that. So I'm now going to change that to 4. And I'm going to build, and I'm going to build this, and I'm going to run it. So I hope you can see my screen there. Let me do it again, share my screen. Sasha, please confirm with me that you can see both my screen and my code as well as the output.
Yes, so I can see both.
Great. So student number 1111. The name is Sasha. The mark for assignment 1 is 90. The mark for assignment 2 is 90. The mark for assignment 3 is 90. Oh, he's doing excellent. And the mark for assignment 4 is 95. Now I come to student record 2, which is Swallow. Oops, I put in the student number. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, Swallow. I'm making your name to be 222, right? Don't worry, they are strings. They're okay. Swallow, are you okay with that, Swallow? Please unmute and tell me you're okay. Thank you, Swallow.
Okay,
so Swallow, you are record number 2, right? Sasha, you are record number 1. Sasha, you have an array of struct, which is your name, your number, your name, and 4 marks. Swallow, you are record number 2. You have a name. Okay, in this case, your name is 2222. I'm joking. And your number is Swallow. You have marks. So you got 88, 88, 88, 88. Look at this. I've got a 3rd record, a 3rd element of the array. And the array is my knock joke. Sibongile. Sibongile. Sibongile.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Yes,
you're
sir.
gonna be my third record, right? You're gonna be my third record. And my third record
Okay,
is
sir.
called 333, and the name is Sibongile. Sibongile, did I type it in correctly, Sibongile?
Doesn't have an I, sir, but it's fine.
Oh, no, we can't allow that. Already I renamed
No,
Swallow.
SB.
Oh, sorry,
SB is
SBONI. SBONGILE.
GILE.
Right.
Yes.
So your mark for the first assignment is also, you did very well because you're my student and you listen to all my videos and you attend all my Zoom sessions. So you also at 89, 89, 90, 90. Check this out, Sibongile. I now have a fourth record. What do you think of that, Sibongile?
It's nice, sir.
Yeah, you know how I know it? You know where I get the fourth record from? Line number 44, where it says number of students is 4. You'll notice, Sibongile, you have the same layout in comparison to Tinswalo and in comparison to Sasha. Sasha, do you notice that you have the same layout as what Tinswalo had and what Sasha has?
Yes, sir.
There, that's your concept of array of structs. Tinswalo, do you notice that you also have the same structure? Don't worry, your name is 22222 as Sibongile and Sasha.
Yes, sir. So sir, that's the question. Basically, it depends on how big you define your. So what is this? This is a structure with an array within it, isn't it?
It's
so
an array of structs. Yeah.
Or an array of structs. Oh, okay, I see. So that const int num student, what is it? Is it defining how many arrays you should have in the struct?
It's one array with 4 records.
Yes. Oh, I see. Okay. No,
yeah,
I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's one array with 4 records, right? So, yes.
Does it like keep on doing the loop for like each individual student? Because in the for loop, it says num marks needs to be less than I and then I plus 1.
Yes.
So is that why it keeps on looping?
Yes. It's gonna run it for the last time now, okay? The 4th time. Anybody wants me to get anybody's student number here, which is 444? Who's that? Who's here? Hello, who wants me to enter in their name here?
Me.
Yes, who's me?
Sardar.
Sadar, Sardar. Is that correct, Sadar?
Yes, sir.
Right, Sadar, one of my good students as well. He also did very well in the assignments. He got 91, 92, 93, 94. Yay, Sadar. Sadar, my question to you is, do you notice that your student record is the very same as Sibongile's?
Yes, sir.
And it's the very same as Tinswalo's?
Yes, sir.
And it's the very same as Prinavin's?
No, Sasha.
I got you there. I thought you were just saying yes. It's the same as Sasha's, right? And can you see there's only 4 records, right? Yeah, so I'm going to press enter now. And guess what? Sasha, what happened when I press enter, Sasha?
It's ending the program.
That's right, Sada. It ended the program because I only said I'm taking 4 students. Tinswalo, do you get it, Tinswalo?
Yes, sir.
Now you see why it's only 4.
Yes, also basically the 4 is the number of individuals that you're gonna enter records for.
Yes.
Sir?
Yes.
So if you were like to make this program, say for like different classes, obviously different classes have different amounts of students, num marks won't be a constant, but rather just normal int variable that you would declare and then ask for
okay, that's a little bit above my pay grade right now, and a little bit above this course dealings. We won't go into that right now. All I want you to know is it's one class. It's I shouldn't use the word class. It's one subject, a group of students, right? And the group of students is group 7E, course 1511. And in there, I've got Sada as a student, I've got Sasha as a student, I've got Sibongile as a student, and I've got Tinswalo as a student. I've got 4 students in my class. And each student has a name, a student number, and 4 marks associated with them. That's my takeaway from today's Zoom lesson. Okay, Sasha? If I wanted to have course 1512, course 1513, INF 1505, Math 111, then I'm going to go a little bit out of the scope of what I'm going to talk to you about today. Okay, Sasha? Sasha, you cool with that, Sasha?
I'm all good with that, sir.
Yeah. We don't want to complicate life and everything, right? And I want to prep for this. And also, we must do simple things, you know. Some of the students over here didn't even start with lesson 29 and lesson 28.
So I haven't started either. It's just whenever I'm learning something, I like to think ahead, sir. So
of course, good. Yay, I like that. Well done. And don't worry, we got some time as well. And right, so ask me the question you asked me before we started recording, Sasha, about the exam.
Sir, so our exams going to be similar to the way these assignments are asked? Like, are they going to be in the similar formats and things? Because these assignments do take a while, like maybe an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. Now, I'll answer you with my experience as a UNISA tutor for a number of years. The assignment question, especially a complicated and long one as flight booking system, that will take you 3-4 hours. Now, ma'am is trying to get to grips with you, whether you understand the concept of struct, arrays, putting them all together, functions, and all of that. That is a really complicated example. And I don't think that it would appear in the exam, all right? Now, saying that, my disclaimer is I don't set the exam papers and I don't know what's coming out of the exam. But what I can tell you, Sasha, is that I know what happened in last year's paper. If I'm looking at last year's paper, which I uploaded to, let me find last year's paper. It's under my, it's in my class group 7E, I uploaded that. And I'll just look at the format of this paper, Sasha, right? There's no questions like that appear like the flight booking example, right? And I don't think ma'am will ask you a question like that because it's one question. And if you don't understand the question, you're going to get it all wrong and you're not going to pass the course. And we're not like that. We want you all to pass, right? So let me go to my group 7E.
So do you know how much percent is the exam for our year?
Oh, okay. When we get to that, we'll talk about it. Ma'am hasn't sent a tutorial letter with the percentage, right? Let's work one step at a time, Sasha. Let's sort out the assignments because that's pretty important. So I'm going to, that'll assist you with a course mark, right? So let me go, you go down to your additional resources, Sasha. Are you following my screen, Sasha?
Yes, I am, sir.
Right. So can you see I've got 2015 paper, I got 2021, I got 2014 paper. Oh, I got other papers as well. I'll upload it, right? If you look at all the past year papers and the format of the past year papers, none of them had a question like the flight booking example, all right? None of them. So I don't think ma'am is going to change the format in 2022. Sasha, can you see my screen? There's the paper. See, ma'am was the examiner and the second examiner was Dr. Skuman. She's now professor. Look at the question. Question 1, 2 marks. 1.2, 2 marks. Question 1.3, 2 marks. Question 2 was 4 marks. Question 3 was 8 marks. Sasha, 8 marks. Question 4. Question 5, 5 marks. Question 6, 9 marks. Sasha?
I'm following.
Arrays, can you see arrays came out? Hey, number of days, 365. Question 8, functions, 8 marks. Question 9, 8 marks. Question 10, look at this. Struct. Check it out, check it out. 6 marks. Question 11, 7 marks. There's no question as complicated and long as the flight booking example, right? So I don't think it'll come out. I can take a bet with you, and I'm not a gambling man, and I win all my bets. So I don't think.
So sir, just to ask there as well. So
Yeah.
we would be required to write a C++ a code, or it's just answering questions based on a code that the lecturer will give us in the exam?
Okay. They'll ask you for snippets of code. When I say snippets,
okay,
they mean like, let's look at this question here. Let's look at this question from last year's examination paper.
So,
yeah. See, they say,
okay.
they'll ask you what value will new val have after this code has been executed. So you basically have to see what is the output of the screen, right? There's variable diagrams here. Let's look at this. Let's jump to the last question here. Given the structure type definition, suppose the following declaration appears in the main program. Write a cout statement that will display the fields of product P1. So the name of the struct is, and they're giving you is product, and they're giving you the fields in there. And for 2 marks, you simply got to say cout, name of the struct, and the field, full stop, and the field name. All right. So that's what they expect from you.
So we won't be expected to paste in a code that we've run at any point.
I don't think so, right? But let's wait. Generally, ma'am will give us a tutorial letter about the examinations, and that happens after the assignments. So again, I don't want to jump the gun. Let's not think too much into the future. Let's take one assignment at a time. We've reached this stage. You've got 3 assignments behind you. You've got the last assignment to work on. Work on that one. You'll need to use a struct in that assignment. I'm not going to tell you how and where and what and why. Or why, I'm telling you now, you need to use it. And once the assignments are over, I'm going to start answering this exam paper. I'll start with this on a Saturday, right? So we'll take it from there. Tomorrow, it's Sasha, Sibongile, Sada, it's 1 o'clock. I have to stop now. I got some chores to do, you know how it goes. Right, so I gotta go. All right, so thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome,
Sir, can I ask something?
Yes.
Can you send the previous question papers and WhatsApp, because we are not on your group.
Oh, you're not on my group. Okay, I'll do that.
Yes.
Just remind me, right? Just post a message out there on the WhatsApp group if you want October 2021 paper, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, let me stop the recording and stop the recording.